Morning, Annette.
Good morning, buenos días.
Buenos días.
A mí, buenos días a todos.
Buenos días, guapa.
And Annette. Good morning. Hi. It's good to see you guys. Hey, Big Dan, what a beautiful color shirt. I love that purple. Annette, how are you doing? Yeah, it's Purple Shirt Tuesday.
Yeah.
Annette, I like your new hairdo. I saw it last week, and I was going to tell you, I like your cool new braids.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Morning, Tess.
Good morning, Stephanie.
Morning, Ted.
Come here.
Morning, baby.
Dad, I'm just gonna pick the sentence in my head. I'll just tell it. It's capital bills, and then
I hear a little voice.
I do. It's Tess's
Is that-
grandson.
Oh, Tess's grandson. Ah, awesome. Okay, Ezra's going back to sleep. I'm gonna just do some little things.
Good morning, Miss Robin. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning.
Good morning, Teresa.
Hey.
Looks like Nicole's logging in as well.
Good morning, Teresa.
Hello,
Good
good
morning, Larry.
My hair's still wet. Sorry, guys. It is a fine morning after that nice rain last night, huh?
We didn't get any in my house.
Oh, we did. It was nice.
It was a Northside Prejudice kind of rain. Not all way at all. Well, how is everyone this fine Tuesday morning?
Been good.
I see one purple shirt out there. I'm enjoying it.
I need to go buy me some more purple shirts.
I'm actually gonna make some custom purple shirts here soon.
Oh,
Money coming in, some deals. I'm gonna make some custom gear so that I'm always wearing a branded shirt.
oh.
And this is why I was at Lowe's yesterday buying some lumber to fix my nephew's bed, and I'm standing by the cutting saw because Teresa, your dog really likes to speak in the morning. For months hasn't said anything, and all of a sudden just talking away. It's okay. Well, I was standing there in line, and just the guy standing across from me wearing a mask, so you can only see his eyes and his head, so I can tell he's got a red beard and a bald head. At a distance, looks like he could be my brother, and I was like, oh, hey. And he's wearing an EXP shirt. He's wearing an EXP Realty shirt. The sleeve says Marcy Williams team. Instantly, I know he's a realtor. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm wearing a blue dress shirt, and I don't even have my name tag on. Bad on me. And he looks over at me. He goes, you look familiar. I was like, yeah, so do you. Like, jokingly. And he's like, no, like, really, you do. Like, I was like, how long have you been at EXP? He's a few years. And we started talking. I was like, yeah, I'm the productivity director at Keller Williams. He goes, oh, Big Dan Caldwell. That's all. And he's like, I'm Danny Honeycutt. I was like, oh, hey, like, because we've talked before. We've done deals together. And he wasn't wearing a name tag, but he had his branded shirt on. But I was thinking about how many conversations are we missing out on with in that just general environment. It invites somebody to have a conversation to you. So I wanted to share that with you guys because it was kind of a revelation yesterday. With no matter where you're at, we talk about you pick up business and conversation contacts. Well, I kind of just dropped the pearl about how coming to Keller Williams was a fantastic thing for my business, and you can see his eyes clicking and ticking. So we'll see what happens. But I want to hear today your closing lines for either buyers or sellers, because I feel like that's something y'all can work on.
Closing lines as in, securing the deal or saying, get the paperwork signed or whatever. You're talking about that point where you're crossing the line to say you're hired.
Asking for the business.
Okay.
I taught one at Ignite. If you guys remember what it was, what was it?
It was similar to what I did this week. Well, let's see. Today is a new week. Last week and this week for buyers. I met a couple there at the office, and after I went over everything, I said, "So, you ready to hire me?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, let's sign the paperwork then." So, it went a lot smoother than I thought. And then the other guy was on a phone interview, and I went over things with him, and I said, "So, are you comfortable with hiring me?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, send me everything." So that's all. I said, "Well, you comfortable hiring me, or are you ready to hire me?" Just be positive about it. Like, how can they go no if you're like all upbeat and you've had a great meeting with them? So not good.
High energy, that works. People like to match energy.
So-
It's not gonna work so well going, "You ready to hire me?" I mean, it brings out that bellatone. Woo!
So yeah, the high energy and recognizing if your meeting has gone well, there's no it gives you the confidence to just everything else. You understand this, you understand this, you understand this. You ready to hire me?
Yeah, I mean that was so much better than the Rio Rico fiasco, where it was like interrupting me the whole presentation with negativity and barking dogs constantly. So yeah, it rattled me. But so I've bounced back, and I've had a couple good ones now. I haven't let that go though. I'm still nurturing that, trying to get back in there. But
Just because the plant stuck you with its thorns doesn't mean the fruit doesn't taste good.
yeah, so I'm still optimistic.
Yes, ma'am. Emily, is that chocolate Rice Krispies or almonds or walnuts?
It's chocolate Rice Krispies. So if you have been following me, my daughter is doing a cookie company. So I'm just going to help the kid earn some money with cookies. So if you want some delicious cookies, we've got them. She's doing a great job. So yes, it's a double chocolate chip cookie with caramel chocolate Rice Krispies on top. So yeah, when we have lots of good cookies. And they're giant. They're like as big as your face.
For all of you that are starting your journey in the weight loss, and that's part of your one thing for the year, I would implore you to evacuate this conversation. I have zero willpower when it comes to good. So I love it.
I know it's.
I just saw it. I was like, that looks
It's really hard.
Weeks ago. So, all right, let's hear another one. I love that, Teresa. Keep that energy. Keep that up. High energy, recognizing good conversation. Are you ready to hire me? Are you comfortable hiring me? I like that. Someone else.
All right. Well, the listing that I have right now, was going through all the stuff, the market analysis and talking about what the price would be, and I started to notice that he was saying things that had me actually doing the job. So he's saying like, so, when you're doing your marketing, well, this, and this, yes, da. He's actually asking me the questions, which is, I was starting to go, wait a minute, he's controlling the conversation. But he opened the door because he kept, there were three things, and I can't remember exactly what they were, but he was, envisioning me actually doing the job. So I just finally looked at him and said, what I'm hearing is that you're ready to have me, have me do this job for you. Is that what you would like to do? Right there, he's like, yes. And that's when he started the whole story about the other realtor and how he didn't get back to him within a couple of days with that letter that he was going to write for him and stuff like that. He goes, let me tell you about the other realtor that I was interviewing. But, he was envisioning me in the position. So I latched onto that and said, what I'm hearing is that you're talking about me being your agent to list this. Is that what you'd like to do? And just opened the door for me to ask that question. And it was an immediate yes.
There you go. I like it. I like that. So seeing it, going for it. How about creating an opening?
I'm sorry?
How about create the opening?
Yeah.
Well, what it sounds like you're telling me is that you and I partnering together would be a real win-win situation. I could help take a lot of this burden off your plate. Would you like me to sell your home for you? Pretty much anywhere in the conversation. Anywhere in the conversation, you can say that. Well, Teresa, it really sounds like that us partnering together would be a win-win situation. I think I could really help leverage in helping you find a house. Would you like me to be your agent?
Absolutely.
Right.
Especially with your purple shirt.
Yeah, in her case, the dog might even approve.
Yeah.
Not on that one. Soon, though. I feel that soon we'll have appreciation for the dog. But that's the thing. I want you guys to get comfortable asking for the business. I talked to an agent last night that was working on a FSBO. She's like, I had a great conversation. We talked for over an hour. Okay. What happened? We talked for over an hour. Okay. Did you secure a contract? Did you negotiate anything, or did you get the business? We talked for over an hour. Cool. Cool. Real cool. I'm trying to be that over the top because I want you guys to realize that, hey, we talked for over an hour. Okay. Yeah. Great.
It was upbeat, but not the closing.
Other people have made it less about themselves and just say, are you ready to sign the papers?
Yeah.
So that might be more comfortable for some people.
And the opposite side is true on that, Maura. Some people don't like the papers.
Right. Yeah.
When
You always
tell
have to
me,
fill them out, right?
yeah, you tell me, hey, Dan, are you ready to sign the papers? No.
Well, this is after your hour talk, right? You're trying to close.
That's the thing. Is like that's the conversation you have. You got to go into solidifying the relationship, because when you start throwing paper at things, it actually will peel back a relationship. Any rapport you build that doesn't have a business entering to it, and it's a simple line out is, this is a win-win situation. I can really help you out. Would you like me to sell your home? Would you like me to help you buy a house? Great. And then that is the segue into having a business conversation without having any kind of lap in the rapport. Maura, we've had a great conversation. I love being around you. You're an amazing person. You want to sign the contracts now?
Well, for people who are no nonsense, they would say, yeah, again, you've got your type A people are like, let's just get this done.
There's some people that are like, hey, before we get into it, do you want to get the paperwork knocked out, or do you want to show me around the house first? And some people are going to say, yeah, she could get it knocked out. But you're absolutely right. Sometimes just asking, would you like to fill out the paperwork?
Yeah, and you also said earlier, open your own door. You can kind of do that reverse thing. I've had this has been a great conversation. Really enjoyed working with you or talking with you here, Dan, about the possibility of, being your representative. And I'd like to do that. What do you think?
I like that.
I'd like to be your agent. What do you think of that? Let's, are we ready? Let's do this.
And we can always put Maura's thing into, just pour it on top of it. You can stack closing lines. It's just adding more and more and more and more value to the sentence. I've had a win-win. This seems like a real win-win situation, Mr. Larry. I would absolutely love to be your agent. Would you like me to sell your house for you? Let's get the paperwork started.
I think fill out the paperwork or get the paperwork started is a little better than would you like to sign. A lot of people just, would you like to sign the paperwork is almost like,
I'm committed. Oh, shoot. I'm committed now. Oh, darn.
What Maura said is know your audience. I think that was probably the most insightful thing that could be said today.
Yeah.
Know your audience.
Yeah.
You guys know me on the call. Would you consider me a pushy individual?
Of course.
Yeah, I can push to agreement. Do you feel like if I don't pull that back on certain people, I will not gain agreement? I will only get adversement. Like they're like,
Oh no, wait a minute. What's the one you talked about a week or two ago? We didn't get the deal because I was too pushy.
Yeah, because he's a bully. He's a bully. I'm not a bully.
You like to get to the paperwork. That's softer.
I like to get things out of the way. So for me, I need to realize that I need to put some more fluff on some things. So for me, it's a learning experience to have that balance, but knowing your audience. And sometimes you may not know them. Sometimes they may show up as a D and really be a high C or a high S with a flexed I, being very sociable, kind of to the point. Once the information, they're asking for the information very directly. They're asking for the information directly so that they can make a better informed decision. But they still have to think about it.
Well, then I do have one situation with this one guy, the older guy that Tess went with me, and I could see he was just nervous about signing a listing agreement because he wants to get something first. But now, after much ado of where he wants to go, which has been like New Mexico, Utah, and very, very north Arizona, he got prices on relocation of all his stuff and decided to stay in good old Arizona, just a little closer to New Mexico, off of I-10, which I can do that. So now he's all excited. I've been finding him some properties and he doesn't have to move very far. So we're going to get the listing and the buyer side of that. So Tessa's helping me work on that deal. So I just seen he was so nervous, I couldn't push him. I'm just like, hey, you don't have to sign anything today, you know, and I'm still working with him. I guess that's my trust. I trust people maybe a little too much, but I felt sorry for him.
I would wish I could go back to the pre-jaded version of myself. Because you don't seem so pessimistic about some things after you've been burned a lot. And that's why I'm proud. You guys, I don't think any of you have been in the car business before. You get burned fast. Like, you know what I'm talking about, Teresita. We have a term in the car business. It's called buyers are liars. It's terrible. So I'm unprogramming all of that with these classes as well. So this is also helpful for me. This is just getting a new perspective. I would love to be a new bright-eyed, bushy-tailed agent forever. With the knowledge and backing that we have, with that excitement, like, oh my God, they're going to sell with me. Because it's the excitement. You don't care about the objection, but you just need to roll off of the objections and the rejection, thick-skinned, like a duck, let it roll off. And then come back waddling like, hey, are you ready to sign yet? I said 5 minutes ago, get out of my house. Oh, okay. So you need some more time. All right. Cool. But don't get thrown out of the house and stay. It's become... Here's another one.
I don't have much experience, but when I get to see a client, it's because it was referred to me, or it's very rare that I go see somebody that somebody else referred to me. So how do you guys get those that you don't know who they are, or how do you get to their doorstep and start talking about selling the house? I don't get that because I don't get that kind.
So we talked a couple weeks ago about, actually on Teresa's situation, the one that she was having a difficult conversation with the wife, but a smooth conversation with the husband. It goes back to building rapport. First thing you need to do out of any situation, referral or not, does not matter, is you need to build common ground. It is impossible for you to have rapport without building some kind of rapport. No one just walks in and goes, this is my guy. That is not rapport. That is fanaticism. They just became, oh, he's bald. I like him. He's bald. And that's very shallow. You won't have any anchoring to it. When you walk around the house or when you meet them somewhere, start asking questions. We go over this really cool method. It's someone help me out. It's a vehicle, Henry.
Ford.
Oh, thank you. Ford. Ford method. What is the Ford method?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of lips moving right now. I love that. You can turn that into rapport building. Instead of asking questions like, how's your family doing during COVID? Find out about the family.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Teresita, thank you so much for inviting me into your home. Who all lives here? Is that your only kid? Oh, no, we have one away at college. Oh, what college did they go to? My sister went there once, got arrested. It was great. Occupation. Hey, you know, I saw the electrical truck in the front yard. Are you a licensed electrician? You know what I'm saying? when you're in the environment, you can look around and get cues. If you've got a wall with 32 bass on it, do you think they're an angler? Do you think they like fishing? Ask them questions about that.
Yeah, my brother was an avid hunter. I mean,
like Teresa, she walked in, there was like 400 animals in the house. Some living, some mounted. You never know. But these are things you can ask questions. If it makes you uncomfortable, then that's not your client. That's not a good environment for you. If you want to be neutral, you walk in, you start looking around. You see a picture of them on a lake with 3 kids, and you walk around the house and there is absolutely no sign of kids around. Do you think that those might be nieces and nephews? Start asking some questions. People absolutely love when you ask questions. I still remember the first time someone ever asked me about my son, because I had a picture of him on my counter. And they're like, oh, is this your nephew? And I was like, no, that's my son. And their eyes got all big like, you have a kid? Yeah. like that's the things that it matched to me. Like that person and I are still friends, but that's actually how it engaged, was over a conversation like that. So if you don't know them from a referral source, you don't know them from a past experience, it's very easy to build rapport when you're walking around and just observing their home, their mannerisms, their vehicles, the pictures on the walls, the way they act. If he's wearing a green Raiders shirt, or a green, I'm a real football fan, Green Raiders, Green Bay shirt, and you walk into the house and the entire house is green and yellow.
Yeah. Football fan, eh?
I'd be a football fan.
Little cheesehead.
And for me, I like to be funny. I'm a Broncos fan. I'm a Broncos fan because I used to work for John Elway. I don't watch football. I don't partake in it. I used to play it. That was it. And I like to give people a hard time. I walk into a house and I see a bunch of Green Bay stuff. I'm like, go Raiders. Just fucking mess with people. He's like, oh, come on. You don't like the Raiders. No, you're right. I don't. I like Denver. Oh, Denver's even worse. And you build rapport. And then you're like, or you could just be funny about it. When was the last time Green Bay went to the World Series? For those of you who don't know sports, 2 different sports. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
But that's how you do it, Terrace. You got to build rapport. Ask questions. Be interested. Do not be interesting. I know for a fact you're interesting. I know that you can create so much conversation around you because you are your favorite topic. All of us are. And in that moment, we need to make them our favorite topic. We are researching them. Because when you can get on common ground and become friendly, we move into that other element where what is the top percentage of where people found their agent, either buyer or seller? What was the top one?
Referral.
Referral by friends.
Friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
So you become just an agent referral. It gives you a higher chance of getting that deal. But if you're coming completely out the blue, like a client from an open house or a client you meet in line at Starbucks, you don't have that referral aspect. You don't have that conveyance of established trust. You have to build it all. But once you start asking questions and getting to learn them, you know that they have 2 cats and a dog named Whiskers, and they have 3 kids that absolutely love sports, except for their daughter is into jazz music, thinking about getting her a saxophone. Her name's Lisa. You guys see where I'm going with this? The Simpsons? Come on, people.
Yeah. Well, I think it's why me and the husband connected and not the wife. She was just, angry from the first moment. But I found out from him talking, they got 6 kids. 1 kid's a plumber. He's been a contractor all of his life, built a home there, building another home, and loves to go on safaris. So it's just... So we do great. What?
Let me guess, the whole time she really wasn't talking.
No, she was just over there steaming.
And that's the case, and that's a perfect, here's the close for that. You cannot work on a close with 2 parties if only one's engaged.
Yeah, it was terrible.
More than likely, the silent partner or the steaming partner is the one that has the anchor, the one that gets to say yes. So if you got a situation where the husband's just yammering,
yeah,
I like to go on safaris, I like to build a house, engage the other party.
I kept trying to turn and trying, and she would just be, almost growling.
Well, the more you try, you'll break down those defenses. I mean, I love Tess Price. She's like that. We've all learned. We have somebody in our group that's like that. She does not like fluffy conversations. Get to the point and get on with it. Don't waste my damn time.
Yeah.
However, we've all built a relationship with her by understanding who she is, knowing about her, asking her questions directly. Learn from those around you. We have different people in the DISC profile just on these calls, just in this company, that you can see, identify, and work with. If you guys haven't done a DISC profile on yourselves, go do them. They're free. You can get a free DISC assessment online. Take some questions. It takes like 20 minutes, and they'll give you a rounded estimate of where your DISC profile is. I'm trying to find the one I did many years ago, which was like 75 questions, was very robust. It was actually pretty accurate. Once I find that, I'll send it out. But just Google search DISC assessment free. If you haven't taken one, it's very insightful, because a good DISC assessment will show you how each category likes to receive information, praise, communication.
That could really be beneficial trying to read people.
Yeah, you can't read people if you don't read yourself. You can't read yourself if you don't read a book.
Mm-hmm.
Education is where it all starts out with.
What I notice is when you build rapport with whoever you have the appointment, but is there somebody else there, like the husband or wife or son or daughter, that they have other interests different than the owner? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to engage with them. Mm-hmm. And what I use a lot, coming from car business and other stuff, is I use their own words. You pay attention to what the words they use and the manner, how they move their hands and stuff, and that kind of helps build rapport if you don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most engaging things. And just so you guys know about me, one of the things that charges me up about my job is learning about people. I absolutely love to see what makes people think. I've studied psychopaths. I've studied mass murderers, because it's not the gore and horror of it all. It's because their brains work differently than human, normality. So when I get to meet interesting people, and I get to meet people that are, out there, I really engage with it, because I sit back and I ask questions. Now, if you're in a household with multiple personalities and you become a neutral slate, you're just learning about each person and cataloging and taking notes. There's nothing wrong with having a notepad out taking notes. It shows that you care. And that's how you build the rapport. Because if you've got all parties involved, you get husband, wife, little Jimmy, Bobby Sue. You high five Bobby Sue. You say, hey, you've got the cutest little cat. You take care of Whiskers. All right, Mr. and Mrs. It sounds like we have a good win-win situation here. I could really help you leverage my support and knowledge to get your home sold. Would you like me to help you sell your house? It's one of the easiest tie-ins. We a win-win situation. We talked about our entire belief system yesterday. Win-win or no deal. Integrity is doing the right thing. Right? Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. So you got to ask questions. Ask questions to understand so you can build a commitment. And then ask for it. Ask for the business. Would you like me to be your agent? Are you comfortable hiring me? Would you like to hire me? Let's do the easiest one out there. Let's do this. Can you all say that for me?
Let's do
this. I saw 2 smiles. Thanks for smiling. I appreciate it.
Sometimes we're also meeting people just on Zoom and not in their home, so you don't have a lot of cues. So, a couple weeks ago I had that situation, and one of my first questions was, would you guys just tell me a little bit about yourselves, and just let them start speaking, and if they don't tell you what you need, about why are they moving, or their family life, or work, obviously you can steer it, but something as general as, would you tell me a little bit about yourselves, can get the conversation started, obviously.
Yeah. Don't interject. If someone says, I went to Portland when I was a kid, oh, I went to Portland. No, that actually will defunk the conversation. Let them get to the point, and it's like, well, that's interesting. That's awesome. We think it adds value because we can align with them, but you're interjecting on their story.
And then I had a sign call the other day for a buyer, and he was like, after I asked him a few questions about what he was looking for, he's like, I hadn't even thought of a bunch of those questions, you know. And so that was kind of cool because I was, you know, obviously trying to get, what do you really want? Because this house is already gone, and hoping obviously to get him as a buyer. And so when he said that, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. He saw that I, you know, really. And I said, well, I literally just said, we are kind of going in blind, so we need to kind of interview you to know what your likes are and desires. So
I've got something for, you know, when you do a Zoom call with people, if you're doing a Zoom call for the first time, don't look at the people. Look at what's in the background. There's your conversation. Hey, Mara, you've got a couple of really interesting pictures on your rack back there, but I can't quite see them from this distance, but they look really pretty. What are those?
Some of them are my kids, and I love flowers, so the rest are flowers.
Oh, really? What's one of your favorite flowers?
Really?
Do you grow them? They're at
Yeah.
the house, or do you know, are they non-native? My point is the background will tell you what's going on. What room are you in? Is that your living room? Is that your dining room? I mean, it sounds a little overbearing, but you're on a Zoom call. So you're trying to engage, and people want to talk about their house, whether it's good or bad. You know, this is the best room in the house. When we're selling, this is going to be the focal point. But the background will tell you things and give you opportunities to ask questions.
We asked Emily what her background was, and it created a 3-minute conversation.
Yeah, because when I first saw it, I'm like, oh my God, she's got maggots.
We all see something different, but you're absolutely right. Like, you can look at the background. Like me, you can tell I'm in the office, but you can see things over my shoulders on both sides that ask questions. Another great thing to do on Zoom, hey, show me around.
Yeah, pick it up.
People are retarded sometimes. It's great. Hey, do me a favor, show me around. Every time I give some kind of command or a close, what am I doing?
You're engaging with them.
And I'm smiling.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm smiling. Because it changes the voice, they can see it. Larry, it really seems like we got a win-win situation here. I've absolutely enjoyed our conversation. I know that you and I would be a great partnership to get your home sold. Would you like me to be your agent?
Maybe.
Hey, I love maybes. Maybe's just soft for yes. How do I get you there?
There you go.
I love Cindy's taking notes. She wrote that one down. Maybe is just soft for yes. How do I get you there? Well, I don't know. If you were to know. Right? Guys, remember, no business happens until you ask for it. You may have never asked for the business. It just may have just slid into that way. But the only way to really engage and create the rapport you need to build that engagement, ask questions, always ask for the sale or the business.
Yeah, of course, quite frankly, it's just another question.
Just another question.
It isn't the big, oh my God, I won the game and stuff like that. You know, because, you know, even if they say yes, it's like, okay, we've got some work to do now. It's just part of the flow of the whole thing. And, you know, so I remember early on, I was way afraid of asking for the business because it's like, oh, you know,
obviously he would normally turn on all the lights and open. I don't know if he left the rolling shade.
She unmuted herself and muted herself.
Anyway, yeah, after a while, you know, now it's just like part of the conversation. At some point, you're just going to go, yeah, I can't. It sounds like you're seeing me as your agent. Look, are we doing this? Are you ready to hire me for doing this job? Let's go.
Is it
You doing this?
okay or not to, when you're building that report and having that conversation where you explain, oh, we need to do this and that, to ask? I assume. And I just like, okay, I need this and that, and we're gonna sign here, and this is, but I never ask itself, but I kind of take the conversation there.
Yeah, assumptive closes are good. I'll sprinkle those in there, and we'll go a little long today just because of that. When I sell your house, when I help you find a house, when we're out looking for houses, when we're going over the contract, you and I, it helps build that relationship. Not when you're out there searching for houses and when you find something you like, I will help you out. No, I speak in we's. You guys have heard on the call. We have a lot of people here. We're interested. We want to help you. We grow together. We are we. I is something we need to cut out of our vocabulary as much as we can. Because I suck. We are awesome. So.
Teresita, I did that on my very first, because, you know, frankly, I just got my license and just signed up with KW, and I got my first buyer consultation and had no clue really what I was even doing, and met them at the office. And I did the same thing, Teresita. It was like, well, we can do this, and I never asked for the business. I'm like, well, let's sign all the paperwork and let's get started. So it was just like that. It was very soft. It was, and they, of course, was a sweet young couple. They're like, okay. So it worked really well.
But yeah, in the chat, Tess puts, Larry, it's encouraging to know that you had fears when first starting out. I believe everyone did, myself included. My first interview in the car business, I researched what questions to ask during a car interview. And one of them was ask for the job. And it's as simple as, when do I start? The sales manager spewed for an hour about himself and the company. And then asked me, he's like, oh, I see you worked at Waffle House. Yep. Saw you worked at Lowe's. Yep. You got any questions for me? I was like, yeah. How long do you need to make a decision? He's like, well, if I like you enough, I can hire you right now. What are the questions you have? Great. When do I start? And it blew him away. But I was shaking in my boots. Because I was all, I don't know if this is going to work. But I said it. I read it, I said it, and I was convicted to it. It worked. And then I had a very, very magical career in that business and became his boss in short order. It was kind of funny. However, it was because I got the insight from somebody else to ask for it. So you can use that same line. Emily, great. Let's get your house sold. When do we start?
Yeah, my husband works at that dealership, and he does everything on 2 questions. Like when you set an appointment and you want it today or tomorrow at 5, everything is like that. And it works. It's like, do you want to put your house for sale today or in 10 days? Like, it works asking 2 questions, like, so they give you an answer your way.
Let's work on that tomorrow. We're going to ask for how to set appointments, how to gain better agreement when somebody's not interested in giving you an appointment right away. So that'll be the topic for tomorrow. Sound good? Same time, same place?
I believe so.
Purple shirt's optional. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Could be a white. You never know.
I thought what's the color tomorrow?
White.
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 White shirt.
White Wednesdays.
White Wednesday. Does it start with a W? It made sense.
Okay. Find a white tank top.
I don't have a whiskey shirt.
Yeah, White Wednesdays, the old bum steer White Wednesday thing. 29-cent white liquor drinks.
I was always the Cat House, the Friday night quarter specials.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, nice.
That was Bad News Bears. Bad News Bears.
Those were the days.
We'll see you in the morning.
Thank you.